Hello, hello. Hi, guys. So I'm back with the final episode of my Halloween gingerbread house decorating. If you watched on, when was it? Monday, we put the house together and I have it right here. You can see it standing. Hey, guys. Where are you guys watching from? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear all about it. Where are you? What time is it? How is your day going? So, this is what it looks like so far. Remember the roses we made on Monday? Those are going to go up here. And these are the support beams we used. I'm just going to remove it. Hey, Cher, thank you. I love it. I love how it turned out. It's so cool. All right, with your help, of course. You guys had some great suggestions. Hi, Megan. All right, so first thing first, I'm going to attach the teeth. Remember these? We had to trim one tooth. So I'm going to attach them, glue them on here. You can see my chain is slightly over. So I'm going to use my I'm just shaving some of the icing. There's a bit. All right. So now to glue it on, I'm going to use thick royal icing. And for all the recipes for the house and for the royal icing I'm using, you can visit my blog. And I actually just published the template that you guys can purchase at my coffee shop. Let me put the link up so you guys know. All right. So the link is up, and this is where you guys can get the template. I'm going to talk about all the tools. If you're just joining in, stick around because after I glue this on, because I want this to be on there for at least 20 minutes before I do anything else. I'm going to show you all the tools we used to create this gingerbread house in case this is your first time joining us. Yes, Jennifer. Yes, final details to finish. Hi, Michelle. Awesome. I hope your hairdresser is watching. Well, maybe not. She shouldn't be watching. She should be watching your hair. Hi, Julie. All right. So I'm going to add some stiff royal icing onto my cookie, and then we're just going to glue it on. All right. This way. Thank you, Jennifer. Oh, I also want to make sure that the skull is going to fit on there. So, all right. Oh, did I not put it up? Okay, let's do on both. Just like when you're tiling, it's best to add icing on both surfaces. I'm going to remove the excess there that just oozed out with a scribe. Okay. Now hold it in place for 2 seconds. And you can see if your teeth are leaning in a little bit, what you can do, you can take some food wrap. Okay, and you can place it under there so it's not going to lean in. All right. Now I'm going to remove some of the icing. You see it's oozed out on this side. I'm just going to scrape that off. All right. And then on this side as well. Hi guys, if you're just joining me, this is the final episode of my Halloween gingerbread house decorating. This is, I think, the 5th episode, if I'm not mistaken. We started with baking the panels. All right. Now I'm going to attach my skull, and this is the skull that I'll be using. This is the same skull I used on the roof panels. And I'll talk about the way I made it in a little bit. All right, so to attach the skull, I'm going to use, and hopefully this is not crusted, I'm using stiff icing and a leaf tip, okay? So I'm gonna turn it over. Okay. Hey, Joseph. Sorry I didn't see you there. Now I'm going to pipe the leaves. Oops. Like so. On the back, just on the edge there. Okay, now we can turn it over. I'm going to add more icing on here for the glue. Okay. Press it on there. Oops. A little more. Oh, you can see, sorry. There we go. I'll press that on. I'm going to hold it like for a couple seconds. And then I'm going to move this aside, and I'll show you all the tools we used to create this gingerbread house. I also finished the chimney. It's not going to be a chimney. I figured it could be, I know I was talking about the air vent, but then I think it could be like an old well, you know? All right, so I'm moving this towards here. And I'm also going to actually do one more thing. I think it was Debbie who suggested that I use the sign, some sort of a sign to put into the teeth, so the teeth hold the sign. So I'm going to cut this piece. I'm using serrated knife. It's quite stubborn. This gingerbread is quite hard. It bakes really hard, but it's great structural gingerbread. Okay. All right. Whew, we got through. Now I'm also going to shave the corners a little bit. Just a bit. Give it a more appearance of the sign. And if you have any questions, guys, just pop them in the comment section. All right, let's move this edge as well. All right, so this is going to be a sign I'll work on in a minute. Let me just put this into the trash. All right, so those of you who are just joining in, I'm just going to go through some of the tools, if I can bring it up, that we used for this gingerbread house, okay? It's quite a lot, I have to say. So first, this is the mold that I used for the skulls. You should look for it in a dollar store. I'm sure it will be available really soon during the Halloween time. They have these everywhere. And this is another mold I used. This is a mold for the teeth I used. Again, both of these This one I think I purchased online, but both of these are pretty firm. They're not super flexible. So what I ended up doing, I sprayed them with nonstick spray, and then I rolled the cookie dough into a ball, and then I pressed it in, and I froze it. And then this one I had to actually bang really hard on a work surface, and then the skulls came out. To get the crackling effect, I used white food coloring mixed with a little bit of starch. I would say 1-to-1 ratio, and then you just brush it on before you bake it. And once it bakes, I don't know, I don't think I have another skull here. Oh, here it is. Once it bakes, it looks something like this. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so that's another tool. I also used a bench scraper to cut my templates, to cut my cookie dough, and here are the templates. I have them here printed on a cardstock, and you guys can get these templates in my coffee shop. Okay, and the house is approximately 8 inches tall, 4 inches wide, and I think about 7 inches long, around there, so you get the kind of the idea how big it is. Okay. Another tool I use, this is a fondant tool. This is from Wilton, and I use this to make the teeth. So you really can look for different tools, not just for the cookies, but also fondant tools work well with cookie decorating. All right. Now, as far as the decorating goes, we used a stencil on the panels, and this is a pretty standard brick stencil that you can get. I have this one listed in my Amazon shop, and then you can use a spreader. This is a small spreader. This is a Tico, or you can also use a palette knife to spread royal icing over the stencil. Okay. And that is what we used on panels. Then to decorate, I also use some edible metallic food paint to paint the chain. And I also use dry, this is food. This is FDA approved petal dust to do the teeth. And we use some edible markers, food doodlers, that's what I like to use, paint brushes. So to make a gingerbread house, sometimes you do need quite a lot of things. What else? I also use the flower nail to make the roses, lots of parchment squares, coffee filter to hold any sprinkles. In our case, we were using dirt, cookie dirt. Hey, Robin, you can get the template in my coffee shop. You can see on the screen, that's the link to the coffee shop. And Jennifer also put the link in a comment. Thank you so much. I'll try to get the link in there myself. I can do that from here. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to put it into the comment section. All right. So it's going to work. I'm not sure if the link is clickable, but it should appear both on Facebook and YouTube now. And that's the link to the template. I also like to use tipless piping bags. These are listed in my Amazon shop. And then what else do we have here? Oh yeah, magnets. So you can either use a stencil holder, or if you don't have that, you can use magnets. Those are really easy to use. This little bottle holds Everclear that I like to use to dilute any kind of paint, like this metallic paint. Over time, it will dry out a little bit. So all you need to do, add a little bit of Everclear and just shake it really well. What else? I think that's it. That's pretty much it. Now I use these to support any kind of structure. If I need to, like you saw me in the beginning of the live, I put it underneath the teeth. Food wrap. I also like to stand my houses when they are drying on a rubber mat. Okay, so I think that covers it. And we also use some piping tips, like this is a 102, but I use 101 leaf tip and some parchment paper. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside, and we're going to decorate the sign that I just prepared a couple minutes ago. All right, hopefully nothing is gonna fall off. All right, so to decorate the sign, here it is. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay. All right. I'm going to use a marker, and we're going to use red royal icing as well. So to make the wood grain, you could use a stencil, but this is such a small piece, so I'm just gonna. Okay. Now to write on the cookie, what I like to do, I like to find the middle. Like I'm gonna write black cafe. So let's get the scribe. And so the D should be somewhere in the middle. So I'm gonna start with the D, just so I have enough room for all the letters, and then cafe would be here. Okay. All right. I don't want my letters to be perfect because this is supposed to be blood. So I'm trying to make them a little like wiggly, with little drips. Okay. So this is the sign that's gonna go in the front of the house. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so now I think I can start working on the front. Although this didn't have enough time to dry, but hopefully it will be all right. I'm gonna move these aside. And I'm going to turn my house. I'll lift it up and turn it like so. I'm going to remove these. And here are some of the roses from the previous life. And you can just remove them from the parchment. Super easy to do. And now I'm going to start by piping the vein. Wine, sorry, the vein. It could be a vein too. All right, so let's do this. All right, so I'm going to start from the very bottom. them here. Let's not forget that roses have thorns, so I'm gonna add a few of those as well. And here. And now with the leaf tip, I'm gonna add some leaves. Okay, and now we can add the roses. So I'm gonna add one big rose at the very top. And then I've got some smaller ones here. Right. Let's add one here. Also here. Alright. Now I guess I should probably add one at the very end here. I'm going to stand it up. And I'm going to add more flowers here on the top. I'm continuing with this line here. Now I'm going to add a large rose. Oh, maybe this one is a bit too large. Okay, this one. And then this one here. Oops. All right, and now we can put the sign in front of the house, or not in front of the house. I'm gonna put it into the mouth. All right. Now, if you want to keep it permanent there, keep it permanently there, I would suggest that you glue it. So I'll use a little bit of icing here. Just need to mark where. All right, so I want it like this. The icing should be here and here. So a little bit of icing here and here. Okay. I'm going to scrape this out so it's not visible. All right, and to decorate the top, the roof, where the seam is, I don't know if you can see, let me take this up a little bit. I'm gonna use candies. I'm gonna use fingers, finger candies. I've got some gummy candies here, and I actually trimmed these with scissors so they would fit on here. Okay. So all you need to do is add some icing onto each little finger. Okay, and now we can glue it on. Okay. So that's for the top of the house, and then on the sides, I don't know who, but somebody suggested that I get the bones here at the very bottom. So I've got some royal icing bones that I made before, and I'm just gonna use those on the bottom here. So all you need is, again, a little bit of royal icing on each little bone. Like so. For this one. Right here. And then I also want to add 2 bones on the other side. And if you guys would like to know how we got to this point, you can watch the replay of my previous lives where I was decorating all the panels, making all the decorations. All right. So that's basically it. I just have to finish the chimney part, and I'll show you. It's very easy to do. I'm trying to lower my camera so you guys can see better, but it's very hard. I'll show you the final picture in my Instagram stories. So I'll just bring the chimney part here. Let's move this out of the way. And this is the chimney. So I was working on this last night, and all we have to do is shake off the excess here. I'm also going to take a little brush, pastry brush, and just brush off any excess. A little shake. And once it's all done, I'm going to fill it with more fingers. I felt like those were really neat, and they look really nice in front of the house. So I'm gonna use 2 orange and 1 green. Alright, so here, let's just see. Let's just find it. This one is not fitting in, so I'm going to kind of cut it on an angle a little bit to make it a bit skinnier so it can get in there. All right. Now this one, let's see. This one needs to be also trimmed a little. And these are just gummy candies. You can find these anywhere during Halloween time. Okay, I'm gonna trim this one too. And then if you want them to stick there so they're not going to fall out, you can use a little bit of royal icing to glue them. And that's what I'll do. Okay. So just a little bit of royal, and actually add it inside. And then place it in. And you can use a scribe to kind of push it in there. And this is going to go here, so I need to add royal icing here. And then stick it in there. Okay, so this is going to be sitting, oops, this one fell out, sitting next to the house. I might make a board, I don't know, I haven't decided. The board, if I do decide to make a board, it will be just covered with some dirt and just remaining skulls. And this will be sitting next to the house. Okay, so let me just clean this up and I'll bring the house and hopefully I'll be able to lower the camera so you guys can see better. Okay. And I will have a full tutorial on how to make this hopefully out before the Halloween comes. All right, so here's the house. I'm just gonna have this sitting here. And I'm gonna try to mount these so we can see the house a little better. Okay, getting there. Almost. Oops. Okay, let me bring that. All right, so this actually concludes this project. It was so much fun making this house. I love how it turned out. And I will see you next time when I do another live. I will keep you updated on my Instagram where I share. Or maybe a sign on the wall. Fresh blood well. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I have another sign that I could use. Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks so much for putting all the links in the comments as well. Oh, that's a good idea. I have another sign, so I might cut it and use that there. Cool. Thank you, and I will see you next time, guys.